What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Deadpool series X-23 Wolverine. Here we do have X-23 in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the figure inside. So stay tuned, everyone. So here we have X-23 posed and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's take a look at what X-23 comes with. She does come with the left arm of the Sauron Build-A-Figure, which we'll have a look at when he's all put together. As far as X-23 Wolverine goes, she only comes with two accessories. She does come with a separate head. She comes with a head with a mask on her, which looks really nice. And then she also does come with an unmasked head, which for me the head seems a little bit too big on this figure. If it was just a little bit smaller it would look good, but if you compare the two heads, this head does not fit in this mask, so I don't know why her head is so much bigger without the mask. And this is probably the look I'm going to keep her with because it makes the figure look better because the head is a little bit more proportioned. With her accessories out of the way, let's take a better look at Wolverine. So here we have a closer look at X-23 Wolverine, and I really do like the way this figure came out, although there are some issues I have with mine, specifically paint. Paint seems to be a big issue everyone's having with this figure. On mine you can see right here on her cowl that the blue paint didn't touch all of it, and there's a really big noticeable yellow streak on mine. And then the eyes also seem a little bit light on mine. It's almost like the left eye didn't get all the paint that it should have. Right eye looks pretty good. And then we also do get this little smudge right here on mine. I don't know what that is. It might be glue. It might be residue from the figure. I don't know. It shouldn't be there. But as far as the head goes, I really do like the way this head sculpt looks. Now, it is a little bit smaller than the original X-23 release, but it does look really nice, and I am glad that they did include it. I do like how the hair is swept off to one side. My preference is I would like to have the hair flowing down because this does take up a little bit of retail space on your shelf, but it doesn't go anywhere past your arm, so it's pretty good. As long as it doesn't flow out like an extra 5 inches, it's pretty good in my book. But it does make posing her a little bit difficult just because the hair does hinder some articulation, and we'll get onto that when we have a look at her articulation. As far as the paint goes on her, it's pretty decent at best. There's some spots on it that you can obviously tell it's blue plastic painted yellow and yellow plastic painted blue. Now, it's really obvious right here on her left arm. I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but it's really thin right here, especially underneath the arm. On the left arm, it's even more noticeable on the outside and on the inside, so it is really thin right there. And then if we have a look at the stripes, you can tell a discoloration from the stripes versus the main yellow that they use. So it is quite noticeable on that. Having a look at her gloves, though, it is done in a really nice blue, and they did a pretty good job trying to match the blue with the yellow, so I will give them credit there. She does have the two claws on her hands, which is pretty nice. I do like the way they did it. They are removable. If you want to take them out and have her without the claws, you can do that. Unfortunately, she will be left with 2 holes in her fist, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that. I do like the torso, and the belt piece is really nice. It isn't the same one that they use on the Sasquatch X-23, which I do like that they did change it up. I would have been a little disappointed if this was just a straight reissue of the Sasquatch X-23. So I really do like that. There's no buckles, no belts, no clips on it, but it is what it is, and it looks good. Having a look at her thighs, you can see there is color difference between her hips and her thighs, and it's actually really sloppy on the right side. You can see it's kind of like it missed the mark, but they try wiping it off. It's not as noticeable here on the left side, but it is a little bit fuzzy. And then on the back, ooh, that's terrible. It doesn't even line up the way it should, and it's all out of whack there. So that's again blue plastic painted yellow. I don't know if there was an easier way to do that, but the way it came out, it's acceptable, I guess. The yellow stripe on the boot is not clean for the most part. You can see a little bit of blue peeking out to the front, and on the back it's the same story. Not good. It's almost like they don't really care how the back of the figure looks, because that's not the way you're going to have them displayed. The yellow does continue onto her boots, where we actually do get her toe claw. I really do like the toe claws, and they do come off if you really want to. Now, word of caution, they don't really peg in well if you take them out. For some reason, they don't tab in the way they should. The way I actually got mine to tab back in is I heated the feet up, and then when the feet were nice and pliable, stuck the toe claw in there, held them in place for about 5 minutes, and they're pretty solid. They're not going to fall out anytime soon, so do be aware that if you take them out, they probably won't fit in the way that they're supposed to. But other than that, I still like the way this figure came out. So what we're going to do now is actually get her compared to a few other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have X-23 Wolverine posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have X-23 posed next to a DC Multiverse Jessica Cruz and a Marvel Legends Black Widow. And finally, here we have X-23 Wolverine posed next to the original Sasquatch X-23 and the Tiger Stripe Wolverine. So with comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at her articulation. Now, X-23 does have a ball joint in the head, although we don't get too much movement just on that ball joint. In fact, we hardly get any. We don't get any side-to-side tilt, but we do get a left and right turn, which turning to the left, it's no problem. The hair does get out of the way. Turning to the right, unfortunately, the hair does get in the way. Now, it is a softer plastic, and you can get it looking to the right, but you do have to move the hair away from the shoulder. She does have a hinge in the neck, but because of the way the hair is sculpted, we don't get a hinge that looks back, and it's a really stiff hinge, actually. Yeah, she has a hinge up there, but mine is just really stiff. I don't want to move it because I might break it on camera, and I'll get that loose in a little bit. But as far as the rest of our articulation goes, arms are on a ball joint, go out. Her arms do a full 360, you just gotta watch out for her hair. She has a single joint in the elbow, works no problem, as well as rotation at the elbow. She has a swivel and a hinge at the wrist, and it works no problems. She does have an mid-torso joint which goes back about that far. Doesn't go too far forward, and we do get some side-to-side movement, so I do like that. Rotation at the diaphragm joint is welcomed. Nothing in the waist. Legs do go forward only to about there. Kick back that far, go out only to about there. She has a thigh swivel, which works pretty good. Double jointed knees, work no problem. Swivel at the boots, although it's really stiff on mine. Let's see, that leg spins a little bit easier. Has a hinge in the ankle, which goes back about that far. Goes forward only to about there, and forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, pretty good articulation here on Wolverine X-23. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So here we have X-23 Wolverine posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do like the way this figure came out, although the paint job is a little bit sketchy on this figure. You have some bits that's yellow plastic painted blue and then blue plastic painted yellow. Some parts are really thin, some parts are done exceptionally well. But other than that, I still think this is a really solid figure. Now, if you were unable to pick up X-23 in the Sasquatch line, I think this is a really good update to the character, seeing as how she did take up the mantle of Wolverine after he died in the comics. This is still a really solid figure. The alternate head sculpt is a little bit too big for my liking, so it's probably going to go in a spare head bin. But other than that, this is still a solid figure. If you are looking for X-23 Wolverine, she is starting to hit stores now at your local comic book stores, Walmart, Target, or wherever you get your figures. I was lucky enough to get my X-23 Wolverine from my local comic book store, so huge shout out to Black Sheep Comics for getting this out to me so I could review it for you guys. If you guys are looking for this figure, she is going to run you about $20, which is standard for a Marvel Legends figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Marvel Legend videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.